Hello and welcome to our grammar lesson. In today's lesson, we will have a revision of kinds of sentences that you have already learned in the first term. Let's get started. First, we are starting with statements and questions. Now, I want you to tell me the difference between each pair of sentences. Do you have a cat? I don't have a cat. How old are you? I am 7 years old. Now, this pair of sentences. One starts with question word do and ends with a question mark. So we call it what? A question. And the second one, I don't have a cat. This is an answer to this question. It tells about something, gives some information. Starts with pronoun, verb, don't have, and the complement of the sentence. The rest of it, a cat. So we call it a statement. How old are you? Begins with a question word, how. Ends with a question mark. And this sentence needs an answer. So we call it a question. I am 7 years old is a statement because it tells some information and it ends with a full stop. So what is a statement? How do you know that a sentence is a statement? A statement tells something. It gives some information. A statement ends with a period. What about the sentence that asks about something and needs an answer? What do we call it? We call it a question. A question ends with a question mark. What are question words? Now I'm going to remind you of the words that come at the beginning of a question and we call them question words. Repeat after me, please. What, which, who, when, how, why, where. Again. What, which, who, how, when, why, where. If you find any of these at the beginning of a sentence, they make the sentence a question. All of them begin with WH except how. So keep these words in your mind. Also, if we have any form of be, am, is, are, was, were. If we find a verb to be at the beginning of the sentence, written in capital letter like that, the sentence is a question. So when a sentence starts with a verb to be, the sentence is a question. Also, if we have verb to do, does, did at the beginning of a sentence, make it a question. And if we have verb to have, has, had at the beginning of any sentence, the sentence is a question. If we have can, could, shall, should, may, will, would. If you find any of these at the beginning of a sentence, they make a sentence a question. Now we move on to the second part. Commands and exclamations. Exclamations. Read after me, please. Commands. Exclamations. Exclamations. Commands. Shut the door, please. What's this sentence? A command. Why? Because it begins with the verb, with what should be done. Shut. Shut the door, please. And most often you find the word please in commands. Pay attention. This sentence is also a command. It begins with the verb pay. Read aloud. This sentence also is a command. It begins with the verb read. Who is told to do something in these sentences? You. The one who listens to any of these sentences is asked to do the action at the beginning of them. So, is you written? Of course not. No need to say, you shut the door, please, because the listener will understand that he or she should do it. So, you is understood but not written. Open your presents. Who? You open your presents. You is not written. It's not written like that. Here's the command without you. You is only understood. Drink your milk. Again, we begin with the action verb, drink. So it's a command. Who should do it? You. Drink your milk. Sweep the floor. Again, the sentence starts with the action verb sweep. Who should do it? You, the listener, should sweep the floor. Now, do your homework. Who? You do your homework. Smell the flowers. Again, the sentence begins with the action verb, smell. Who is meant to do this action? The listener, you. You smell the flowers. So a command, every command ends with a full stop. It tells someone to do something. It ends with a period. And of course starts with an action verb. The subject of a command is you. So what's the subject of the sentence? The subject is you. But you is not written at the beginning. Instead, we have the action verb written at the beginning and you is only understood. It's not shown. A command is a sentence that tells you to do something. So what does the command do? Tells you to do something. In a command, the subject is always you, but it's not stated. It's not written. A command is a sentence that starts with a capital letter and ends with a period. Look at the board. What's the first word here? What's the type? Look is a verb. It's an action verb. That's why the sentence is a command. Now we come to exclamations. Every exclamation ends in an exclamation mark. What a great trip this will be. I'm showing some emotion, strong feeling. I'm excited. I'm so happy. Again, there's excitement, there's a strong feeling. So that is the exclamation. An exclamation is a sentence that shows feelings. And it ends in an exclamation mark. This room is a mess. Here I am upset. I'm showing strong feeling. So the sentence is an exclamation. It starts with a capital letter, ends with an exclamation mark. So every exclamation ends in an exclamation mark. A sentence that shows surprise or any strong feeling is an exclamation. Like, for example, if a sentence shows some excitement, happiness, fear, or anger, the sentence is an exclamation. Now I want you to guess. What's this sentence? Close the door. What's the type? It begins with the action verb close, ends with a full stop, so we call it a command. How do we know? It tells someone to do something by the action verb at the beginning, and it starts with the action verb. Read the story. Again, what's the type of this sentence that begins with the verb and ends with a full stop? Of course, it's a command. This story is so amusing. What's the type of this sentence? It's an exclamation. It shows feeling. Amusing. I'm amused reading this story. How are these sentences similar? Of course, they are different, but they are similar. How? Both commands and exclamations begin with capital letter, and both end with an end mark. Of course, not the same end mark, but they must have an end mark at the end. Read the story. This story is so amusing. Of course, they are different. So what is the difference between these sentences? The first one, as we said, is a command. The second one is an exclamation. It's a command because it starts with the action verb read. And this one is an exclamation because it shows feeling in the word amusing. And it ends with an exclamation mark. This is a wonderful day. I'm so excited. I can't wait. Do you think these sentences are written correctly? No. What's wrong then with them? How can I fix them? We can fix them by changing the end mark. The full stop is not suitable for these sentences that show strong feelings. Then what is the suitable end mark? It is the exclamation mark. Exclamation at the end of every sentence that shows feelings. Now these are the types of sentences: statement, question, command, and exclamation. Again, let's read them. Statement, question, command, exclamation. And now you all know the difference between these four types. The first one, how do you know that a sentence is a statement? It tells us about something, it gives us some information, and it ends in a full stop. The question starts with a question word and it needs an answer. And of course it ends with a question mark. Third type, command. How do we know that a sentence is a command? Every command starts with a verb, with the action verb, and it tells someone to do something. And it ends with a full stop. Notice, the statement and the command end in a full stop. How do we tell them apart? Statement has subject, verb, rest of the sentence, while the command starts with the action verb without the subject, like here. Here we have a subject, we have a noun. But here we don't have a subject, we don't have a noun or pronoun. We have immediately the verb, action verb. And the exclamation shows a feeling, and it ends with an exclamation mark. So if you remember, we put the exclamation mark inside a heart because every exclamation shows a feeling. I've sent you this worksheet. If you cannot print it out, please bring your English copybook or a piece of paper. Write the number with the answer only. Let's get started. In the first exercise, in part A, write the type of the sentence, statement or question. You write the type on these lines, either statement or question. I'm gonna read for you and you gotta get the type. Can an oak tree live in a desert? Get the answer, please. Statement or question. 2. An oak tree needs plenty of water. Is this a statement or question? Does it tell or ask? 3. It cannot live in a very dry place. Get the answer. 4. Are there any trees in the desert? Get the type. 5. Where does a cactus grow? This is the cactus. Write the type of this sentence. 6. A cactus can grow in the desert. What's the type of this sentence? Write it down. 7. Does a cactus have spines? Write the type, please. 6. A cactus has waxy skin. Get the type. Now it's time to check the answers. I hope you get them all right. But if you have any mistake, no problem. You learn from it. Just cross it out and fix it. Number 1 is a question. It begins with can. And it ends with a question mark. 2 is a statement. We have article, noun, oak tree. We have adjective, noun. We have the verb, needs, and the rest of the sentence. 3 is also a statement. We have pronoun, it, cannot live, verb, and the rest of the sentence. It tells something. So it's a statement. 4. Are there any trees in the desert? We have a verb to be at the beginning with a question mark. And we need an answer. 5. Where does a cactus grow? Of course, we need an answer, so it's a question. It begins with WH word, where, and ends with a question mark. 6. Statement begins with article, noun, verb, can grow, and the rest of the sentence. 7. Does a cactus have spines? Here we have verb to do at the beginning, does, and it asks about something, so it's a question. 6 is a statement because it has article, noun, verb, and the complement of the sentence. Now we move on to the second part. Write command or exclamation. Bring your camera. Is this command or exclamation? Write the type, please. 2. Put your jacket on. Answer, please. 3. Oh dear, we're so late. What's this sentence? Please get in the car. We have please and get. What's the type? Command or exclamation? 5. Hooray! We're on our way. Write down the type. Now time to check the answers. Number 1 is a command. It starts with the action verb bring. Put V. 2 is also a command. It starts with the action verb put. Put V, please. 3. Here we have a strong feeling. I'm worried. Oh dear, we're so late. exclamation. 4. Please get in the car. Please and the action verb make this sentence a command. 5. Hooray, we're on our way is an exclamation because it shows some excitement. Now bring your reader's notebook, please, and open page 14. Write whether the sentence is a statement, command, or question. So you have 3 types of sentences in this exercise. Circle, statement. It can be a sentence that tells something. A command that tells someone to do something. Or a question that asks and needs an answer. On this small line, you have to write the type. Statement, command, or question. And on this line, you have to rewrite the sentence correctly, with the correct capital letter and the suitable end mark. Let's start. Number 1. Where is the bake sale? Write the type. Rewrite the sentence correctly. 2. Hang this sign. Get the type and rewrite correctly. 3. The money helps the school. Write the type of the sentence, statement, command, or question, and rewrite it correctly. 4. Do you like cookies? Get the type and rewrite. 5. Share with your sister. Get the type and rewrite. 6. I like cookies with green icing. Write the type and then rewrite the sentence. Now it's time to check the answers. Number 1 is a question. Begins with the WH question word where, and it needs an answer. Starts with capital W and ends with a question mark. Number 2 is a command. It starts with the verb hang, action verb hang. It starts with capital H, ends with a full stop. 3. Statement. It has an article, noun, verb. It tells something, gives some information. Starts with capital T, ends with a full stop. 4. Do you like cookies? This is a question. Starts with do. When we said when do comes at the beginning, it makes the sentence a question. Starts with capital D, ends with a question mark. 5. This sentence is a command because it begins with the action verb share. It starts with capital S and ends with a full stop. 6 is a statement. We have pronoun, verb, the rest of the sentence, and this sentence gives us information. I like cookies with green icing. It tells something. So it's a statement. Of course, you write I the correct way, okay? This is just the font on the book, but we gotta write it well. And it ends with a full stop. Every statement ends with a full stop. Now move on, please, to page 29. Read each sentence. Tell whether it is a statement. Circle statement, please. Circle exclamation. Circle command. Circle question. So here we are dealing with the 4 types of sentences all together. We gotta choose the correct type. Write the type on the small line. Rewrite the sentence correctly on the big line. Let's start. Number 1. Did you hit that ball? Write statement, question, command, or exclamation. Write just one type that is related to this sentence. And then rewrite it correctly. So now you know what to do with the exercise. I'm going to read the sentences only. You did a great job. 3. Try that again. 4. Hannah pitches the ball. 5. Her dad hits the ball. 6. How far did he hit it? Now it's time to check the answers. Number 1 is a question because it starts with did. It starts with capital D, ends with a question mark. 2 is an exclamation, it shows feeling from the word great. It starts with capital Y, ends with an exclamation mark. Try that again is a command. It starts with the action verb try. It starts with capital T, ends with a full stop. 4 is a statement. We have subject, verb, and complement, or the rest of the sentence. It gives some information. Starts with capital H, ends with a full stop. 5 is a statement. Her dad is the subject, hits, verb, the ball, the rest of the sentence. Starts with capital H, ends with a full stop. 6 is a question, starts with the question word how. Starts with capital H, ends with a question mark. And that's it for today's grammar lesson. Bye bye.